before you rush to check your phone, before the third alarm goes off, before you put on your brave face like you do every day, pause for a moment, take a deep breath, and listen. Maybe nothing feels wrong this morning, yet something inside still feels off. It's not a great pain, just a quiet heavyweight, a worry not yet formed, but already taking the place of peace. A question no one asked, but you've answered it with silence. Have you ever woken up feeling like your soul is wrapped in fog? Not quite sadness, not quite fear, not quite fatigue, just a sense of not wanting to move forward. If you felt that way, you're not strange, and you're not alone. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Psalm 27:1. Even when the world is full of unknowns, God is our certainty. Even when your heart isn't ready, His light is already shining the way. Before you get swept up in work, news, and responsibilities, and let God's word be the first thing you hear this morning. Let the light of Psalm 27 lead you out of that morning fog and into a day lived not in fear, but in light and salvation. And if the fog in your heart hasn't lifted this morning, it might be because you're stepping into a battle no one else sees. There are battles without gunfire, no blood spilt, yet the soul bleeds silently day after day. Not fought on a battlefield, but in the mind, the moment you wake. The battle of a mother worried for a child drifting away from God, of a father burdened with finances but too quiet to cry out, of an aging soul slowly feeling invisible. You're not surrounded by enemies, but by intrusive thoughts that arrive uninvited. I'm not good enough. No one really needs me. Is God even listening to this prayer? Maybe you're also feeling spiritually left behind, numb during worship, unable to feel a thing, misunderstood in the silent battles you fight every single day. So many things haven't happened, yet your mind spins relentlessly. So much you can't say, so your heart stays quiet and heavy. And sometimes you wonder, how far have I drifted from God? Why can't I feel Him like I used to? And yet, it is often in the cloudiest of days that God draws the nearest. Not with thunder, but with a whisper, I am here. The question is, will we pause long enough to notice? Even when your heart feels furthest from God, even when your faith feels like it's run dry, even in the grayest of mornings when you feel nothing at all, His word is still there, not shouting, just standing, waiting for you to turn around. And in Psalm 27, like stones lay gently underfoot, each verse is a step, lifting you slowly, step by step, out of the shadows of anxiety, into the soft light of His presence. David didn't try to prove he was strong. He simply said, "The Lord is my light and my salvation." Not because he wasn't afraid, but because he had turned his gaze toward the light. And when you look toward the light, darkness loses its hold. Lord, this morning, I don't need all the knots untangled. I just need to turn my face toward you. Because with you, light is always enough. I will not live by fear. I will walk in light. Some days your heart feels like a battlefield. No swords or spears, just a barrage of voices, deadlines, anxiety, judging eyes, a sense of failure you can't even explain. David said, "Though an army encamp against me, my heart shall not fear." Lord, I'm surrounded, not by visible enemies, but by quiet things that wear me down from within. But I won't collapse, because you stand behind me, a fortress that cannot be shaken. I don't stand by my own strength. I stand in the presence of the unshakable one. David didn't ask for an escape. He asked for one thing. One thing I ask from the Lord, to dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, not to hide, but to be near, not to be helped, but to see Him. Lord, I'm not chasing a miracle. I just want to sit at your feet, as I am. Even when I feel nothing, please don't let me drift from your presence. Not the solution, just your face. For in the day of trouble, he will keep me safe and set me high upon a rock. David didn't write that as wishful thinking. He wrote it while still surrounded, while danger was real. Lord, I'm not asking you to calm every storm. I'm asking, lift me above it, so from that place I see how small it all becomes and how near you truly are. I don't need to escape. I need to be set upon the rock. And then amid all the noise, a whisper breaks through, "Seek my face." And David quietly responds, "My heart says to you, Lord, your face will I seek." I'm not after what you can do, I'm after you. No more words needed, just one silent moment with you. I don't seek your hand, I seek your gaze. Though my father and mother forsake me, the Lord will receive me. David knew what it felt like to be left behind, and maybe you know that feeling too. I don't need applause, just to be held. I don't need to be understood, just to know you've never looked away. You see me even when the world turns its back. God doesn't just forgive, he welcomes you home. And David ends not as someone who's conquered the storm, but as one standing in the rain, still looking up. Wait for the Lord, be strong and take heart. Lord, I wait, not because I have nothing left to do, but because I believe you're doing something I cannot yet see. And true faith is standing firm even before the answer comes. I wait, not in despair, but in hope that's taken root. Psalm 27 is not the voice of a fearless hero. It is the whisper of someone afraid, who chooses to look toward the light. Every verse, a lamp. Every line, a place for the soul to stand. Are you ready to step into prayer? You don't have to be strong. You just have to be real. Because God isn't asking for perfection. He's just waiting for you to return and speak. Lord, this morning my heart is not light. Nothing specific is attacking me. But there is a quiet kind of weariness, like water dripping from a broken roof. No one else hears it, but I do. Loud enough that I don't want to get out of bed. I'm not sure whether to name it anxiety, emptiness, or simply fading faith. I opened my eyes but saw no light. Not the sunlight, but that inner light, the one David spoke of. The Lord is my light and my salvation. I've read that verse many times, but this morning I only read it with my eyes, not with my heart. Something feels stuck. I don't know what to pray, not because I have no needs, but because I don't know where to start. Too many scattered pieces in my soul, promises I forgot to keep, prayers left unanswered, hopes I placed in people who slowly walked away, and shame. Shame about coming back to you as someone who has drifted so far. I remember Psalm 27 wasn't written in peace. David didn't write it from a palace during calm times. He wrote it while under siege, betrayed, and hunted. It was in that darkness that he dared to say, "Whom shall I fear?" But this morning I am still afraid. Not because I don't believe in you, but because I've forgotten how to be near you. Lord, there are days I still sing worship, go to church, and still hold my Bible, but deep down, I'm just repeating something familiar. Not because I want to pretend, but because I've lost the spark of intimacy with you. I used to be moved easily by a worship song, used to tremble in prayer meetings, used to cry while reading scripture. But now everything feels worn, not because you changed, but because I've been far from you for too long. I still believe you are the light, but I'm far from that light, like someone lost in a forest seeing a distant glow, but not knowing how to find the path back. I know David's words are true. One thing I ask, to dwell in the house of the Lord. But sometimes I wonder, do you still want me there? Is there room in your holy presence for someone whose faith is weak, whose heart is dry, and whose emotions feel numb? Lord, I'm tired, not in my body, but in my soul. The kind of tiredness that makes it hard to speak, hard to share, hard to explain. I just want to be held, no questions asked. I want to return, but my feet aren't strong. I want to pray, but all that comes out are sighs, and I want to believe. But there are questions I still can't answer. And right now, all I know to say is this: I need you. I don't need answers right away. I don't need my circumstances to change instantly. I just need to know you are still here. David wrote, "He will hide me in the shelter of his tabernacle." Lord, if I cannot fight this morning, then please hide me, not to escape, but to be still, still in your presence, still under your wings, still in the middle of my inner battlefield. If I can't sing, take my sigh as a song. If I can't pray, let these silent, tear-soaked moments be my cry. Lord, this morning I am not strong, not impressive, not worthy, but I come because I know you do not change, and your promises remain true no matter how many times my heart has wavered. I'm not asking to be perfect. I'm asking one thing: don't let me drift from the light. Even when I am weak, let me still be found in your house, even if it's just sitting in a corner. Let me still be in my Father's house. Lord, I don't need to feel strong to say this. I still believe. I declare, my faith is not built on how I feel today, but on your unchanging promise. I do not feel peace, but I declare you are my peace. I do not see the way, but I declare your word is a lamp to my feet. I do not see the light, but I dare to say with David, you are my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Lord, this is not the voice of someone who has already won the battle, but the voice of one rising after a fall. I declare that fear does not have the final word, not because I've overcome, but because you are standing in the middle of the battle I cannot see. Even if my heart trembles, my mouth will still declare, you are the stronghold of my life. Though an army besiege me, my heart will not fear. I'm not waiting for warm feelings to say this. I declare, in the cold of this morning, I belong to you, not because I am faithful, but because you are faithful. Not because I am lovable, but because you have called me beloved. David said, one thing I ask is to dwell in the house of the Lord. I don't just seek your presence on easy days. I seek you when I feel utterly empty. And I declare, no one and nothing can take away my place in the Father's house. Even when I can't see, can't hear, can't feel, you are still where I belong. You will hide me in the shelter of your tent and set me high upon a rock. Lord, today I declare, I am hidden in your mercy. I am lifted by your word, not my own strength. When my heart wavers, your truth remains unshaken. I don't need stability from my surroundings. I stand on the solid ground that is you. David wrote, though my father and mother forsake me, the Lord will receive me. Lord, maybe others don't understand me. Maybe I no longer hold space in someone's memory, but I declare, you have never erased me from your heart. I am not an extra in the family of faith. I am called, kept, loved. I declare, even when I feel forgotten, I am received. David closed with a line that doesn't need trumpets, yet it shakes the soul. Wait for the Lord, be strong, and take heart. Lord, I don't enjoy waiting, but today I choose to wait as an act of faith. I declare, every good thing from you is never late. Your silence is not absence, it is preparation. And I choose to proclaim this, not just for today, but for the days when I will again feel weak, doubtful, confused. Because faith is not a fleeting emotion. It is the truth I keep speaking until my spirit remembers what's real. So today, even with trembling hands, a quiet voice, and tears not yet dry, I declare, I do not walk because I am strong. I walk because you are the light before me. I do not need to see the whole picture, only to follow your light, one step at a time. And one step is enough, because in every step, you walk with me. Lord, I've confessed the weariness in my soul. I've declared my faith, even when I feel nothing. Now I need solid ground, not just to survive, but to live again. I don't seek inspiration. I seek the word that has been written, not words spoken by someone else, but words you yourself have spoken, unchanging and eternal. You will hide me in the shelter of your tent and set me high upon a rock. Psalm 27:5. Lord, this is no longer a time to run. This is a time to be restored and to rise. When David said, "You set me high," he wasn't just describing a hiding place. He was speaking of a new position, a new perspective, a restoration from the inside out. I am not just someone trying to survive the day. I am one being rebuilt to move forward. Lord, lift me higher than my old fears, higher than past wounds, higher than the quiet judgments echoing in my mind. I will not live as the wounded. I will live as one being restored. Though my father and mother forsake me, the Lord will receive me. Psalm 27:10. This is not only comfort for the lonely, it is the truth of who I am and who holds my life. Others may forget, you do not. Those once close may walk away, but you still call me child. To be received is not just to be forgiven, it is to be restored with worth. Lord, help me see myself the way you see me, not through the lens of abandonment, but through the eternal acceptance of the Father. I am received, and therefore I no longer need to strive to be recognized. From today on, I live not to prove I'm worthy, but to respond to the love that called my name before time began. I remain confident of this. I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Psalm 27:13. Lord, I don't just believe in heaven someday. I believe in your goodness today, here on this very ground where I stand. David didn't write, I hope to hear of your goodness. He wrote, I will see. See with his own eyes. See in everyday life, in real circumstances. I declare, I will see prayers answered. I will see doors open gently. I will see peace return to the kitchen, the workspace, my heart, not in grand miracles, but in the quiet, faithful signs of your love. Lord, some days I only need one reason to keep going, and today your word is that reason. Not a fleeting motivation, not a fading wish, but 3 promises are solid as stone. You lift me from low places and set me high upon a rock. Verse 5. You receive me, not because I'm perfect, but because I am yours. Verse 10. I will see your goodness right here in the land of the living. Verse 13. So I stand on these words like on unshakable ground, not to feel better, but to live truer, not just to keep religion, but to keep my soul anchored in seasons of trial. Lord, I do not ask for an easy future. I ask for eyes to see your goodness, even if life hasn't changed yet. And I choose to repeat these words, not just for today, but every morning my heart feels weak, because your word is true, and I will see it with my own eyes. Lord, now I don't just pray for myself. I intercede for someone whispering to you in their heart, even if their lips cannot form the words. Maybe they're sitting quietly in front of a screen, clutching their phone, trying to hold on to something, but deep down they've already let go. They haven't spoken aloud, but you know they are tired. Tired enough to no longer pretend. Tired enough not to know whether to cry or stay silent. I pray for the ones sighing, unheard, the ones still smiling around the family, but who becomes completely silent when alone. Lord, if their heart feels empty this morning, if they've lost the will to pray, if they're pressing forward but no longer know why, I ask you to touch them, not with thunder, not with shaking, just a gentle touch, enough for their soul to know you are still here. Lord, kiss the most tender, wounded place in them with your loving presence, not necessarily to change the situation immediately, but so they may know they are not alone, so they may feel you are walking beside them. Lord, if they're sitting in a quiet room, if they've cried without anyone asking why, if they've stopped hoping because they've been disappointed too many times, I pray on their behalf the words they cannot say out loud. Lord, I am weak. I've doubted. I feel unworthy. But if you're still searching, please stop here with me. Wrap them in your arms, not with theory, but with a real sense of your spirit. Give them one small sign, maybe a line of truth, a light at the end of the day, or a strange peace, not from man, but from you. Lord, maybe they once prayed, once believed, once hoped, but something shattered and slipped through their hands. I don't know what they've gone through, but you do. You saw that moment they sat in their car, not wanting to go inside. You saw the dreams never spoken aloud because they didn't believe anyone would listen. I pray on their behalf. Lord, come into this emptiness. If something needs healing, begin today. If something needs breaking, break it gently with your hands. If something is still asleep in my soul, wake it with the whisper of life. Lord, bring them one thing, resurrection. Not loud, not dramatic, just quietly, like a flame rekindled at midnight. So they may know, I am not finished. I am not disqualified from the journey. And the light is still waiting ahead. I intercede for the one who once thought they were too broken to be forgiven, for the one who once thought, God has forgotten me, for the one who stopped going to church because they felt too dry inside. Lord, do not let them keep walking without you. Place the hand of the Holy Spirit upon their shoulder right now, so that even if they see nothing, they will know they are not left behind. I intercede for the one battling illness in silence, for the one carrying financial burdens but still pretending to be okay, for the one weary in marriage, in family, in their own soul. Lord, do not let them be swallowed by their circumstances. Raise them up by the power of truth. And if they've ever felt no longer useful, I declare on their behalf, you still have another chapter for this life. You still use the weary to do wonders. You still write even when the previous page is stained with mistakes. Lord, use this prayer as an open letter to their soul. Push back every rejection, every burden, every shame. And in their place, plant a new calling. Come home, rise up, and move forward. Because you are still walking with them, and you've never stopped. Lord, after all of this, after the truth has been spoken, after faith has been remembered, after your promises have been embraced, after I've interceded for the one beside me who's collapsing. Now I want to say one final thing, not to end this prayer, but to begin a new step. I declare I will not be led by emotions, I will be led by your word. Emotions may shift, but your word does not. Emotion says, I'm not enough. Your word says, my grace is sufficient for you. Emotion says, God is silent. Your word says, I will never leave you nor forsake you. I do not live by feelings, I live by covenant. I declare, I will not let the voice of doubt echo. I will let the whisper of your spirit calm me. Doubt screams loudly in the mind. It says, no one is listening to you. It says, you're weak, falling behind, failing. But I no longer listen to that voice. I turn my heart toward the still, small voice, like the whisper to Elijah in the cave. Come out, for I am still here with you. I declare, I do not walk alone. I walk in the light of the King of Glory, not because my circumstances have changed, not because I'm stronger or better, but because your light never fades. I step out of the darkness, not by might, but by the light shining from your living word. You go before me. I walk in your footsteps. You didn't promise I'd never stumble, but you promised I'd never be without your presence. And because of that, I will not retreat. Even if it's just one step, I will move forward. Forward into the light. Forward toward the call. Forward in truth. Because you are my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Lord, I've prayed not just for myself, but for the one reading these words with me, the one who might be more weary than they let on. Together we've walked through the shadows by the power of your word. We've dared to be honest, dared to stand, dared to believe again, even just a little, even if it's still unclear. That's a first step. And now, as the prayer falls silent, as the tears may have fallen, as someone's heart begins to slowly warm again, I just want to say this. You didn't just listen to a prayer. You stepped out of your silence to touch the whisper of God. You're not merely surviving, you are being covered. You're not just trying to keep going. You are being restored, breath by breath, word by word. You don't need to feel anything to know that. The Lord is your light and your salvation, because some things are not meant to be felt, just believed. If right now something inside you stirs, a quiet sense that God is truly here, then please don't keep it to yourself. Type below, "The Lord is my light," not to perform, but to declare something living over your soul. And if a verse from Psalm 27 just touched something deep within you, write it down. It's not just sharing, it's sowing light. And if someone just came to mind, send this video to them. No need for introductions. Light doesn't need advertising. It just needs to be released. If you'd like more quiet moments of prayer like this each day, subscribe to Prayer Moments Daily. This is more than a YouTube channel. It's a space for your soul to rest, be reminded, and walk again in the light. You're not walking into today in darkness. You are walking with the light, and that light will never go out.